Hello and welcome back to my channel. I did it. I went to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood this year, and like I do every year, I decided I was going to rank the haunted houses from worst to best. There are 8 haunted houses, 2 shows, and a terror tram. In this video, I'm just going to be ranking the 8 haunted houses, but I will give you my thoughts on the terror tram and the shows at the end. Additionally, please keep in mind, these are just my opinions, okay? If your absolute favorite house of the year is dead last on my list, that doesn't make it bad, okay? These are just my opinions as someone who absolutely adores the event. There are a lot of things that can lead to a bad experience inside of a house. Missing scares, a lack of scare actors in the house, line crowding, or even a bad run-through. Speaking of bad run-throughs, that brings me to number 8 on my list. While Jason Universe was definitely fun, I unfortunately got stuck in a pretty bad run-through of it. I got in line at 12:55, so towards the end of the night, and I think that ended up leading to people getting rushed inside the house, which, of course, led to a lot of bottlenecking between scenes. Bottlenecking is essentially when there is such a backup of people trying to get from one scene to the next that can lead to you straight up just not moving for multiple minutes at a time. On top of that, I felt like a lot of the scares that I ended up getting were just Jason popping out at you with nothing else exciting about them. There honestly wasn't a ton of variety in the scares. It was definitely really fun, but out of all of the houses this year, this felt like the weakest link, at least for my run-through of it, which is very disappointing. Poltergeist was in this exact same spot on my hype list. Come to think of it, Jason was also dead last on my hype list as well. Listen, I know what I like, okay? A lot of the effects were really cool. I especially liked the effect of the arm coming out of the TV, but overall, the house just felt a little lackluster to me. I think it's just because it's hard to take a movie like Poltergeist, where so many of the scary things are not happening directly on screen, or where some of the scariest moments are psychological or not explicitly shown, and fully translate that into a house. I like what they did, but overall it wasn't my favorite. Like I said in my hype list video, 2022's Scarecrow was incredible. I really loved it. That being said, this year's Scarecrow felt very similar to me. Like, it felt like a lot of the scares and the scenes were just copied and pasted from the 2022 house. I know it's probably hard to do something brand new and creative with the theme of Scarecrow, but considering they got Slash to do the music for it, which, side note, absolute fucking banger, I need it on Spotify immediately, I feel like they could have done a lot more with the storyline of it. I liked the character design, all of the scares were really good, but it just felt too similar to the 2022 version for me to put it any higher than this. Once again, I do not know much about Fallout. Regardless though, this house was a ton of fun. My favorite moment was probably the room with the power armor and the giant wolf puppet. That wolf puppet got me so fucking good. I also apologize if the name of the suit is incorrect. I will put a picture of it on screen of what it looks like inside the house. This is just what Google and more specifically Reddit told me the name was. It wasn't the scariest house by any means, but I did have a really fun time going through it, so I think it was pretty good overall. The Monstros houses have some of the best set design in Halloween Horror Nights history. The set design for Monstros 3 alone could have gotten this to the number 1 spot on my list. I really loved the first 2 sections, those being La Muelona and La Ciguanaba. I'm so sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of those, by the way. But as much as it kind of hurts to admit this, I'm kind of getting a little tired of La Llorona. I really loved that they brought back the giant La Llorona puppets from 2022's La Llorona the Weeping Woman. And while I understand that she hasn't featured in any of the Monstros houses up until this point, I just kind of wish they would mix it up a little bit. La Llorona section felt very similar to her 2022 house, especially because of the puppets. Overall, while I did absolutely love this house, and while it was extremely well done, La Llorona section falling a tiny bit flat does have this firmly at number 4. Five Nights at Freddy's only making it to number 3 on my list was, like, genuinely baffling to me. I was expecting it to get to number 2. And yes, this house definitely is not the scariest by any means, especially to people that have been going to Halloween Horror Nights for a really long time, or people that are just super invested in the games, whether it be the lore or the games themselves. But God, is this house so much fucking fun. This house is a genuine fucking blast. All of the animatronics look incredible. They look like they fully came straight out of the game. games. I loved Springtrap's jump scare towards the end of the house, and seeing Foxy run down the hallway at us was also really fun. All of the little Easter eggs to the games and the movie were also super cool. This isn't like a super Easter egg, but I did really enjoy that they had Freddy singing Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics, and I loved seeing Foxy singing his little song as well. It definitely isn't the scariest house of the year, but I think for just how fun it is, number 3 is a pretty good spot for it. This house was so fucking good. This is such an underrated house, okay? I will give a heads up, like I said in my hype list video, I don't really know much about the Wyatt 6 faction. I'm trying my best to get their names correct, but if I did fuck up their names, please let me know in the comments. Some standout moments for me, Uncle Howdy at the end of the house in that long dark hallway leading to the exit was fucking terrifying and scared the shit out of me, my friends, the people in front of us, and the people behind us. Like, to the point that we started running, okay? Like, we fully sprinted out of the house. Abby the Witch coming out of the tent tree thing, I think it's a tree. And honestly, the entire section with Huskus the Pig Boy was really, really cool. Genuinely and truly, every single scare got me in this house. It was so much fun to go through. So much so that I regret not going through it a second time when I saw that it had no weight. It sucks that it seemed like this house isn't getting the attention and recognition that it rightfully deserves, because God is it incredible. Of course, this house was gonna be number 1 for me, okay? What? It's not my fault, okay? Is this house overhyped? 100%. But did it also completely live up to my expectations? Also 100%, yes. Everything about this house, from the special effects, to the smells, to the set design, to the character design, everything was really, really incredible. Standout moments for me, obviously, the Terrifier poop room. It will live on in Horror Nights legends for years to come, because holy shit, that was gross. The entire Christmas segment I thought was really cool, and the scene where Art had ripped the scalp off of one of his victims and was wearing the scalp like it was a wig. All I can say is that he looked fucking fabulous, okay? Like, who is this diva? This house was honestly just a ton of fun. All of the actors seemed like they were having the time of their life, especially the actors playing Art. This one is just, it's a ton of fun, okay? You also don't get as wet as I was expecting, honestly. It's like a fine mist that definitely gets you a little damp, but it's nothing crazy. Overall, an incredibly fun and very well executed house. Moving on to the Terror Tram and the shows. I was pleasantly surprised by the Terror Tram this year. I really enjoyed how they separated each movie out into its own section, so it got its own time to shine. It really helped to make sure that it didn't feel like a jumbled mess of a million different characters like Avengers Endgame style. Avengers!
Assemble.
With so many different movies to try and incorporate into just the Terror Tram, it very easily could have felt disjointed and inconsistent, but since they separated each movie into its own section, I think that they avoided that pretty well. Out of all 7 of those movies, I only saw 5 of them fully represented. Freaky and Happy Death Day were the 2 that I never saw, outside of their statues in front of the Hollywood sign. Maybe they just weren't there for my run-through, but I don't know. Some standout moments for me were the Black Phone, the Purge, and I really enjoyed the house at the very end with all of the different scare actors from all the movies. One thing that I thought was really funny was that the grabber was wearing Heelys to ice skate. That was really funny to me, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I wish that Blumhouse didn't have such an insanely large presence almost every year, I honestly really liked what they did this year. The Purge Dangerous Waters is always fun. It's essentially just Waterworld with Purgers instead of the original cast. A lot of the stunts are the same. You will 100% get completely soaking wet if you sit in the splash zone. It's overall a fun time. I also really liked the story this year. I thought that was very well done. The only thing I missed out on at Horror Nights this year was Chainsaw Man: The Chaos. By the time I got around to being able to do it, it was a 20-minute wait at 1:40 in the morning, and I really just wanted to get out of the park before it was impossible to get a lift back to my hotel. I've honestly only seen good things about it, but I can't accurately give my opinion on it since I didn't actually experience it at all. I really enjoyed the event this year, honestly and truly. Even the houses that I didn't love were still super fun. I genuinely don't think that there is a single bad house this year. All of them were incredibly well done and very fun to go through. I've been going to Halloween Horror Nights and just haunts in general for long enough that a lot of things don't genuinely scare me anymore. A lot of jump scares do get me, but not because I'm afraid, but because it's someone dressed up as Art the Clown getting this far away from my face, you know? Like, obviously that's gonna freak out anyone. But almost every single house got me multiple times, especially the horrors of the Wyatt Sick. All of the scare zones were super fun as well. All of the actors were clearly having a really fun time, especially Art the Clown. Overall, it's an extremely solid event this year. I mentioned this at the end of my vlog that I posted, but this feels like one of the most well-rounded events that Hollywood has put on in a couple of years. There was just banger after banger houses. Not a single one was bad, even the ones that I got a bad run through on. And that's my official ranking of all of the Horror Nights houses in Hollywood this year. The event was a ton of fun this year. I'm very glad that I got the chance to go. I really missed going to Horror Nights, honestly, and I only missed 1 year of it. I did vlog my experience this year, so go watch that if you're interested to see how my night went. It'll be in one of these corners. I don't fucking know. Shot in the dark guessing this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! All I'm saying is that if you say something mean about the fact that I'm wearing Dan and Phil merch instead of Horror Nights merch in this video, I'll kill you with a gun.